Welcome to Stillwater. Join me today as we turn this into this using this. Logs to lumber using an Alaskan Chainsaw Mill. Join me, it'll be fun. So let me show you a little bit of how this thing works. This is the Granberg Alaskan Mill. Chainsaw goes into this slot, goes into that one, clamp down in there. When you're milling, always a good idea to have some extra chains that are sharpened up on hand, because you're going to go through chains pretty quickly. And so it's nice to have some extra chains to just put on there, and that way you can continue without stopping. Otherwise, you're going to need to stop and sharpen your chains. Another thing, if you're going to be doing some milling, you're definitely going to want some safety gear. You're going to want something for ear protection. You're going to want something for eye protection. This covers both. You're going to want something for your hands. Usually wear your gloves. You want some chainsaw pants. If that thing slips and grabs you in the leg, these things will stop that chainsaw before it stops you. So always have your safety gear. Do it right. That has to be the easiest log I've ever had to skin. Ever. Wow. Look at this wood. So, here's how I do the milling. First thing you need to do to mill a log is you need to take the top off. The top is curved, so you need a flat surface to run your mill across to get a flat cut, that first flat cut. The way I'm doing that is I'm using just two pieces of strut. The two pieces of strut could put on top of the log and get them leveled. Then I can just run my mill across the top of that smooth surface of these things and cut that first piece off. After that, you just run the mill across the top of the log, because the top of the log now is completely flat from that first pass. So how do I get these level on top of this log? Well, for one, I'm going to need to cut this off flush. And I take me a piece of metal like this, took an angle grinder and cut it to the exact size of these, and it fits like this. They just fit right in it. I put that on the end of the log up near the top so that these are above the log. Make sure it's level, get it screwed in, do the same thing on the other side of the log, set the other side in it. Now I've got my flat surface that my mill can go down. Let's get the end of this log cut off and let's give it a shot. So you might have noticed that the strut I got is not quite as long as the log. So I'm going to have to cut this down into smaller chunks. Rookie mistake. See that? Closed up on my chainsaw, bound my chain up. You should always be looking at this. You should look at your log before you start cutting and realize, is it going to go down and close up on your saw, or is it going to fall off and open up? I should have paid attention. I should have looked under there, and I didn't. So now I need to get a wedge, open this back up so I can get my chainsaw out. Whoops. What you can see I've done here is I've got these three wedges in the top. And as I hammer them in, it's interesting, the force of those pushing this log apart is actually lifting the whole log up. Watch. Here, Mason, you want to hold this like right here where you can see down under? Nope. All right, so we're going to try to cut this one more time. I've got the back side of the log braced over there so it won't fall. These stop it from crushing my saw, and we'll just finish the cut. We got it. So this side, the center is actually we're going to mount our plate on the small side of the log first, making sure there's enough room to put the screws, just enough room. Now we just go to the other side, mount it, and we're good to go. Done. Now we'll put our rails on. Now we have a smooth, flat surface. Thank you, Mason. Now, one thing you may notice is these are going to slide back and forth. Yeah, it slides. I turned it upside down, then I could just stick a scrunch in there and it ain't going nowhere. So I got 2 of my scrunches in here. This thing ain't going nowhere. So if I do a quick test of this, ain't gonna fit. It flares out at the bottom. And so there's a quick solve for that. Now that we got that first layer off, this is smooth. Set this thing down to the depth that we want. really slow going. I'm gonna try a different chain. We'll put this chain on and let's see if we cut a lot faster. Here we go. One other note is that anytime that you're changing your chain, take your bar and flip it upside down and do that every time, and that causes your bar to wear evenly on both sides. So sometimes, like, you'll see me with a chainsaw and the bar's upside down. It's not that I'm an idiot and installed the bar upside down. I did it on purpose. There's a reason for it. It's so that it wears evenly, and it's just a good practice. Another thing is, whenever you change your chain out, make sure that you're getting oil to your chain and your bar. And you do that by looking here. Right here is a little hole. That little hole is where the oil pump for your bar oil pumps in to the bar, and it goes into this slot. The oil comes in the bottom of this slot here, which is where your chain rides, and that oils your chain. You got to make sure that that's wide open. It is not clogged. If it's clogged, you need to clean it out. Just take a little piece of wire or something and stick it in there and clean that out and make sure that your chain is going to have oil with it, because if not, you got a problem. If you don't do that, you're going to mess up your bar, and they're not cheap. When you're running your chainsaw, if you put it up on something that's clean, you should be able to see a little line of oil coming out as the oil flings off the end of the chain. When it's snowing out here, it's really easy to tell. You just point it at the snow and there should be a little line of oil forming where that oil's slinging off that chain. So if you're not getting that oil off that chain, you know you need to clean this thing out and take it off. Your saw is made such that it runs out of gas before it runs out of bar oil. Anytime you need to refuel your chainsaw, always put bar oil back in it. If you go to refuel your chainsaw and you haven't used any bar oil, you need to check your hole. It might be clogged up and you might be ruining your bar. So just some tips, hopefully it helps you out. Wow, that chain worked a lot better. I can't believe the difference. I mean, it must have been at least 2 times as fast. That's about all I can cut on this log without putting it up on the sawbucks, because it's too close to the ground for my saw. So I'm gonna call it a day and look at what we got. We got 4 big pieces of wood. Let's take a look at them. Look at how beautiful this is. I don't know if you can see that, but that is beautiful wood. Well, that's all I got for today. Hope you learned something. This is something that you can do too. If you want your own lumber, you got a chainsaw, just get yourself a mill. It's easier than you think. Well, till next time, have a good one, and God bless you. Bye.